I want the check. Check. Ooh. I want the check. Check. Ooh. I want the check. 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 I want the check. Check. Ooh. I want the check. I want the check.
What's up guys, Quentin Flores here. I'm going to teach you guys today what an affidavit of heirship is and when you should use this specific strategy to be able to clear title on a home, buy it and close on it, flip it, wholesale it. Typically guys, if you're a wholesaler and you're getting into this business, one of the things that you'll find a lot is that the original people who had owned the property, they may not be around anymore, guys, and then the family didn't do the proper procedures to convey title on that property, and you'll see like a bunch of family members kind of living around into it, or maybe even people that may not even realize that they have an interest in the home. Okay, so what is an affidavit of heirship? We're going to start there. So an affidavit of heirship is a conveyance of title, which basically means that when I pass away, everything that I owned in life, my entire estate, my property, my belongings, my things, if I passed away and I did not leave a will, those things are to go to my heirs. And the affidavit of heirship is what's going to connect the dots. Now that's not just the house, that's literally everything that they've ever owned in life, okay? So an affidavit of heirship is the best route that you want to go if there was no other conveyance of title when that person passed away, okay? So when you pass away, if you did not leave a will, typically, even if you did leave a will, first off, if you did not leave a will, an affidavit of heirship is going to be your only bet. If you did leave a will but you never had it probated, you can take that will to go get probated, and a probate attorney and judge are going to sign off on the will that says this is what's going to be done when you pass away, correct? However, if that does not happen and you have a will, you have to attach it to this document right here, which is called an affidavit of heirship. So full disclosures, guys, I'm not an attorney, not in any way, shape, or form giving legal advice. This is all just from my own experience. Please do your due diligence if you're watching this for whatever state that you're in, as the laws to this vary. But we're going to be going over exactly how this document works in Texas, okay? So over here we have a family. So this is a situation that I am actually encountering right now, where the property was owned by grandpa and grandma, and they were both married. Know that if grandpa passed away and did not leave a will, if he had a previous wife, she'll need to be involved with this affidavit of heirship somehow, because if that previous wife, if grandpa had a previous wife and this wife had children, and this wife is no longer gone, the heirship is going to be transferred to the kids. So know this, always ask up front if grandma and grandpa ever had previous marriages with previous kids. Because the way an affidavit of heirship works, guys, is I have to account for every heir that is involved with this property, even if the grandpa had previous kids with a previous wife or was previously married. Now know that only time I have to bring in the previous wife is if the house that was bought while he was in marriage with this woman. Does that make sense? Then I have to find that person's divorce decree to see how their marriage ended. So in this case, in general, we are going to just go over the basis of it, guys. So grandma and grandpa owned a house together. This property right here is the one that we're talking about. Now, an affidavit of heirship, both grandpa and grandma passed away. An affidavit of heirship is going to grant the heirs of this estate, aka this house right here in the middle, the ownership of this property, so that they can sign off on this house and give it to you, okay? Now sell it to you. Now let's say grandma and grandpa both had an equivalent amount of children. They had 4 kids in total. Because they passed away interstate and they are no longer here and they did not leave a will, aka a will is your last will and testament, guys. In this situation, they did not leave a will. the ownership of these two individuals, because they both bear an interest in the same property, when you become married, you're technically seen as one in the eyes of Texas. So as it stands, both wife and husband have 50% interest in this home. What I have to do is track down the children that they had in life to be able to convince them to sign off on this property. So kid 1 ended up having 2 children of his own. Kid 2 is alive and well. Kid 3 is alive and well. And kid 4 ended up having 2 children of his own. In the event that somebody passes away, for example, if grandpa and grandma had all 4 heirs and each one is still alive today, these 4 right here would be given ownership of this property. Each 4, it would take 4 heirs in total to sign off on this house up here, guys. 4 heirs in total. That means I need 4 signatures, okay? When you do an affidavit of heirship, you're going to be getting these 4 heirs to sign off to inherit this property. So this estate's going to be inherited by the 4 heirs. What you also need is 2 disinterested parties. And these 2 disinterested parties have to swear an oath on the affidavit of heirship that the information is sound. So these 2 are putting their truth on the line through this AOH to determine that these 4 kids were the only 4 children that grandpa and grandma ever had in life. You understand? So disinterested parties is what you're going to need to sign off on this AOH when you get to the closing table. And it's going to define the outcome of this property. Now, let's take this even further. What do we do if one of these kids passed away? It goes straight down to the next bracket of children. So the original kid 1, 2, 3, and 4, kid 1 passed away and kid 4 passed away. And they leave behind 2 heirs. Now, the amount of people that I'll need to get on the property changes because their interest, as it stands, it was a 50-50 interest, each of these being 100%. 100% interest is getting divided among 4 heirs. That means 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%. I'll need all 4 signatures to sign off on this property to convey title to myself legally, right? If one of these passes away, their 25% interest gets passed down to their children and divided among the 2 that are still alive today. Know that for these 2 to be able to sign off on the property and these 2 over here to be able to sign off on the property, they are going to need to be above the age of 17 in Texas, 18 in other states, okay? Because they're going to have to sign off on their parents' interests to be able to legally convey title. Now it's no longer 4 heirs. We have grandma and grandpa both passed away, leaving behind 4 children, 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%. 2 of those children passed away. Now their interest gets transferred over to their 2 kids here. Now it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total. 6 total that are going to have to sign off on this property via an affidavit of heirship and another general warranty deed before you can get ownership of this property, guys. So that's what an affidavit of heirship is, okay? If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below. I'll talk to you guys soon.
I want to check. Check. Ooh. I want to check.